Folks, we come to you today with a tale of two generational talents. Now, if you're not an NBA fan and you never heard of Cooper Flagg, you can be forgiven. Just 2 years ago, he was a high school senior, and a year later, he was the National College Player of the Year. And the awards, well, let's just say he won all of them. 18-year-old phenom out of Duke, first overall pick by the Dallas Mavericks, gets the red carpet treatment. Warm welcome in Dallas. Local teams, fans, social media, the whole organization lining the hallways to cheer him. Even competitors point out he's great for the league and everyone involved. Teammates applauding. He's the next franchise cornerstone, the young stud who's going to save the day after the big trade. Now, everybody's excited. Welcome to the NBA, kid. Open arms, love fest. Rookie of the year talk starts even before he laces him up properly. The guy that can literally bring new eyes to an established league isn't something you see very often. And names that come to mind: Magic, Larry, Michael, LeBron, and now Cooper. The league, the media, the players, they're all in on the celebration of pure talent and potential. No caveats, no lectures, just pure excitement for a young American basketball star ready to light up. Now, contrast that, stark, night and day contrast, with how Caitlin Clark was welcomed to the NBA. If you don't know who Caitlin Clark is, you simply live under a rock or you've assumed room temperature. She's simply the biggest thing women's basketball has ever seen in any generation. For the WNBA, it is Magic, Larry, Michael, LeBron. Record breaking college career, packed arenas, ratings exploding, jersey sales through the roof, putting the WNBA on the map in a way it never had been. And what does she get? Folks, hard falls that somehow don't get called in real time, hip checks, eye pokes, fists to the throat area on loose balls. It's if she's in an MMA fight. The physicality ramps up, the chippy play, the sideways comments, the social media shade from some of the established players and retirees. Suddenly, it's all about welcome to the league, toughness, or jealousy narratives, or when people notice the pattern, race gets dragged in by the usual suspects. Media spends more time analyzing the culture war angle than the actual basketball. Now, death threats fly, politicians write letters, and the league stumbles around trying to manage the optics instead of just protecting its biggest draw and letting the talent shine. Same sport, same country, generational talents entering their respective pro leagues as the number one picks. One gets the ticker tape parade and institutional embrace. The other gets tested with cheap shots, second guessed, and turned into Rorschach tests for every grievance under the sun. Why? Because the rules of engagement aren't the same when the optics don't fit the preferred narrative. Uh, Talent is talent, hard work is hard work. But in one league, it's celebrated without apology. In the other, it becomes a referendum on identity, privilege, and who gets to define belonging. That's the contrast, ladies and gentlemen. Not subtle, not complicated. Just the way things are when certain institutions and cultural gatekeepers decide which success stories to amplify and which ones to complicate. Uh, Cooper Flagg walks into the NBA and the door is held open with a smile because the men know who they are. They're not intimidated by talent. They know it raises their boat too. Caitlin Clark walks into the WNBA and the welcome mat has a few landmines on it. The women are afraid of being overshadowed by someone who looks different and has a different value structure. And the same people who lecture us about equality uh, and opportunity somehow never quite get around to explaining why the standards shift so dramatically. Uh, don't expect them to. This is where we are today in America. We'll be back, and we hope you will too.